Hello everyone, it's Scott and welcome back to another episode of Agrarian Skies 2. So over here is a new thing I've been working on in the Botania area. So it turns out that you can summon some, well, they call it mid-game, but I'm kind of looking at like an end-game kind of thing, called a Gaia Guardian. So what we're going to do is go through the ritual of Gaia by building this beacon ritual with beacon and iron and these Gaia pylons, which are just pixie dust and elementium on top of a normal pylon. And we're going to lay it out in this fashion with a beacon in the middle and some pylons spaced just so. And what that's going to do is summon a Gaia Spirit, which are some pretty OP kinds of monsters. So let's run through this again and see how it works. So, oh, not, okay, I have to shift right click, and there we go. Okay, so what it's going to do is put up a barrier, and this is the Guardian of Gaia. Now it turns out that my stuff's pretty OP here, so I'm not exactly worried from this Guardian. It turns out that having 40 hearts is makes me pretty much immune to everything, and so it's just a matter of me whittling him down as he continues to fall through the floor in this void world. I don't know if the graphics are not right or what, but yep. So it's pretty easy to take care of him. So I'm just going to go through the battle, and as you can see, I'll check in when it's done. So once you get him down to a certain point, he's going to recoalesce on the beacon and then start dropping mobs on me. Well, my sword is so overpowered. What is it? Yeah, attacks for 12 hearts a hit, so it's not really that difficult for me to clear these guys out. Now one interesting thing is that this border here around the edge, I'm not, if I try to move outside it, it actually rubber bands me back. So I'm sort of locked in. Once I decide to start the battle, I'm locked in a certain radius around the beacon. But what's interesting is it doesn't seem to ever blow up the iron block, so I'm a little curious that if I create an entire floor out of iron, will that be monster proof? Okay, so here he is. Okay, let's finish the battle here. Knock him down. Knock him down. Okay, falling through the floor, respawning, and dead. So, I have quite a lot of junk. Alright, so let's throw some of this stuff. So that's going to give me 8 Gaia Spirits and another yellow heart. Well, I have a lot of yellow hearts now. Not really worried about that, but Terra Steel is going to be more of a rare commodity for this. Ah, Wither Skeleton. Awesome. I guess that beheading. I did up my sword up to a level 4 beheading, so there's a 40% chance to behead. So it looks like I am collecting a couple more heads than I had before. So that's pretty cool. So Terra Steel is going to be something I'm going to have to get. So Terra Steel looks like I'm going to have to create this this plate out of lapis and a whole bunch of runes. Runes, I still don't have a very good way of mass producing the runes yet, but I was going to try. Yeah, see, it's just laying it down, and then it says after that it will automatically transform itself into a single terrasteel ingot. So it's really a multi-block that transforms into an item. So, like I was saying, I haven't really come up with a way to mass produce the runes, but I did have an idea. I was watching a couple videos. Direwolf had a very complicated layout, and I was just thinking, if I have an ME system and I set up, well, I don't know, something as simple as a chest, and within that chest I use the auto crafting. I don't know, let's say something like a rune of earth. Now let's, what do I have the least of here? Let's say rune of air, right? So if I decide to, so I've taken all of the rune of air out of my inventory. I'm going to come in here and put a single rune of air into the auto crafter, right? Now at this point, I kind of expect that the ME system will automatically work out that it needs to craft one, and that's going to involve dumping things, yep, right here into the, oops, ooh, that's not good, because I have to take the ring of magnetization off. Let's figure out how to get that back in the system. Yeah, I remember. Oh, right. Okay, so let's just click in the chest, throw the living rock back in. Okay, and that should drop it back down. There's the living rock, so it's being hit by the mana beams, and then that should turn into, yep, that should turn into the rune. So in theory, it's now loaded the rune up here, yep, in the ME interface. And then if I were to create an item duct with a extractor, I was thinking that in theory it should auto craft once I set up the rune of air as the whitelist item. So that should extract the runes into this chest. Yep, there we go. A rune, 2, 3, and since this makes 3 at a time, the next thing it should do is empty out here. So as soon as this is empty, then it should give a call back to the ME system that it needs to make another rune of air. So in this way, I've basically set up, yep, there it is. It's dropping the items again to make the rune of air. So in a way, in one block, I've duplicated the auto crafting of what was like, I don't know, 40 or 50 blocks. So that's just going to mana beam in, and then that's going to transform. Let's just wait for it. I think maybe I need to lay out these mana. Yep, there it is. There's the items and sucked up and done, and then that should transfer out again. So I think I'm going to move some of these mana pools. So either that or extend the train system, because I want to be able to basically hit this from a lot of different directions. So really, I guess I could move all these guys off to here and create like a ring, perhaps, around the altar. And then I think that way I'll get a better feed, because the altar takes a certain amount of mana There it is, creating another one. So it's going to take a certain amount of mana to activate, and so I'll edit that. And so that I'm just going to let that run for a bit and build up my. I'm going to make each of the core 4 runes, and that way I have. Yep, so I'm up to 10 already. Awesome. So I'm just going to let that run and check back in on it later. So now another discovery over in the blood magic area was that if I take a blood orb and I put it in a blood altar, then any blood that's in the altar gets transferred into the orb as life points. So as a result, just letting this sit here underneath the well of suffering, I'm up to 1,000,000 LP in my network, and I'm not draining down because the well ritual is hitting all of these witches. Basically, the witches are recharging and producing blood into the altar at a faster rate than it's being consumed by the ritual, which means I'm essentially positive LP. And so these are being absorbed into this bedrockium drum, so I'm 23 million blood right now. It's just ridiculous, just leaving this on autopilot. I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. It's crazy. So let's head down to the alchemy area. So in between episodes, I duplicated the alchemy Ballad of Alchemy ritual. As I showed last time, whenever you set up the ritual master ritual stone, and then you align the chemistry set, then it will automatically import items into the chemistry set, do the ritual, and then dump them out into a chest. So from there, I found out that you can hook up a ME interface, again with an auto crafting card, to basically feed in the items, and they will act like a chest for the Ballad of Alchemy. So just by letting this sit here, oh, and here's the other important part. So I set up another level emitter, just like I did with the milk buckets way back when. So again, this is checking the level of items in my ME system. So anytime that the number of items in the ME system is greater than 125 in this case, it's going to basically put out a redstone signal, and a high pulse pauses the master ritual stone, just like it does with the well of suffering upstairs. So the redstone deactivates, and so with that, I basically have an automatic repeating loop here. So as soon as I go in and I go into my ME system, and let's say I take I don't know, catalyst out. So now I'm at 109. So immediately the ritual, okay, so the redstone signal turns off because the condition's no longer met, and the chemistry set automatically loads up the items and crafts the catalyst, and automatically pumps it back into this chest where it's being fed into the ME system through a import bus underneath. Yep, there we go, in and out. And so that is then creating the feedback loop that increases the count, which will eventually turn this off so it doesn't just run to infinity. So what am I doing with the other 3? So I looked through and I said, looking at all the different rituals, what are the alchemy results that I need? So Ether, Incendium, Aquasalis, Terra, Tenebrae, Sanctus, and Magicalis. So I've created those formulas here on each side. So using Terra, the Terra Alchemy is using the dirt, sand, and obsidian, and more importantly, one of the simple catalysts. So just as before, if I have, well, I'm up to 300, right? So let's try a different one. So the ether, right? ATH, right? So I'm up to 100 of these. So actually, let's try magic. Okay, magic callus. So down over here, all I have to do is right click and kind of set and forget. And so this is going to pull the items out. Yep, magic callies. It's going to need the redstone, gunpowder, catalysts, and the glowstone. Oh, for some reason is it missing redstone? Did I lose that guy? Yeah, let's just grab redstone dust. Up here in the ME config, so that's going to basically lay itself out. The dance of the of alchemy will then automatically pull in the pieces from the neighboring ME interfaces, and that's going to create the pieces that I need for all of the other crafting tasks. So if I just let that run for a while, that'll build up my Magicalis supply. So what do I need all these things for? So the next thing that I need to do in the quest book, if I were to head down to Blood Magic, Mystical Blood. So I have only a couple things left that are really locked out, but one of these is Divine Insight. So Altar Diviner, that actually is pretty easy. So let's take care of that first. Altar Diviner. It's going to need a blood altar. Okay. Well, so let's just take that and throw it in the altar upstairs. Take this guy out, throw that in. Yep, there we go. Done. So there's our altar diviner. So basically it can control auto-loading items into the blood altar, basically to trigger when they can be loaded to be imbued with the life points. Okay, so that's going to give me the ability to spawn a cow, and let's take a reward bag. So next, blood cleansing. So I'm going to need a blood cleanser. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that does, but the blood cleanser formula is actually pretty simple. So I'm going to need an ore lump, corrupted infusion. Okay, this is not simple. Alright, so let me do a little research into that, figure out what I need. I feel like I ran into this before, and then forgot what the results were. So let's look at the blood amulet next. So blood amulet from Sanguimancy. Okay, I've got everything. Demonic slates, a clock, the blood orb. So let's grab one of these. So it says that filled with blood in a fluid transposer or by using a blood tank, the blood amulet can heal you for 5 hearts. Oh, well, that's pretty cool. I could use that. Plus shift for info. Sanguimancy. Okay. How do I wear it? Okay, is it over here? Nope, I'm just confused. Maybe it's just something I have to keep in my inventory? Alright, let's try loading it up with life points. Take that out, load you in. Okay. Alright, well, let's see how many it got so far. Blood Amulet, press shift. Well, shift's not really doing anything for me. Just kind of confused as far as what I actually do with it. So, again, I'll check back on that later. But for the most part, I'm just glad that it gave me a reward. So, next, fast slaughter. So, can I do the Rune of Acceleration yet? I think so. Almost. Eldritch Blood, Archmage. Oh, okay. So I'm not quite Ethereal Slate. Yes, I'm not at this point yet. I need to make Demonic Slates, yes, into the Ethereal Slate using a level 5 altar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can actually do that now. I just, let's see, Orb. I need the next level Orb. The Blood Orb is going to need, a Demon Blood Shard. Right. So this is where I kind of hit the impasse where I need to be able to summon demons. So let me take a quick cut and let's start setting that up. Alright, I'm back and let's get to work. So what I'm going to need is the Arcane Pedestal. So not the Thaumcraft version, but the Blood Magic version. So with this I'm going to need Obsidian and a Weak Blood Shard. So that's not really hard at all. So let's grab 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Actually 7. And with the 7th one, I want to transform it into a arcane plinth. So let's grab one of these and turn it into the plinth. So what I need to do with this is lay them out into a hexagon pattern, which I'm going to do over here in this platform that I built out in the void. So this is where I'm going to do all my summoning and battling. So it looks like what I need to do is set this up with the plinth in the middle. I need to, let's lay these out a little, space a little bit more. So what I'm going to need to do is set this up like I believe this. So what I'm going to need to do is take 6 of those alchemy reagents, 4, 5, 6, and 1 blood orb. And what I'll need to do is place the orb here in the center, and then 1 of the alchemy pieces along each of these pedestals. And what should happen, so it's going to try to detonate each of the, I'm going to lose the 6 pieces, and then it should summon a elemental. So let's make sure I get, actually let's grab, let's grab the Daedalus Fork, and then see if I can, I don't know, capture one of these guys? Whoops. Safari net, maybe. Okay, can I capture you in a safari net? Ha! Yes, I can. Oh, that's hilarious. Alright, so, if I can capture him in a safari net, can I replicate him? Because this is, I didn't think it was going to be that easy. So let's drop him in here, make an exact copy? Yes. Well, actually, let's try no. I don't know if it's even going to work. It loaded, so it's actually one step there. Okay, so it's creating them. Creating them, yep. I got a bunch of them now. So are they actually going to be killed by the grinders? I hope so. Let's see if I can wait this out. Alright, this is not good at all. Alright, let's pull this out. Oh dear. I think I may have just created a big mess. Alright, so I half fixed the problem because I guess they were glitching through the half slab and then popping out the top. So it turns out that the spawner can create them, but it looks like the grinders cannot destroy them. So if I just go through and just smack the heck out of them with my sword. Well, now I'm just knocking them right out of the containment area. They don't seem to have any kind of like animosity towards me. And I'm using the ring of magnetism to pick up any kind of drops. So with this, yep, let me just break them down a little bit more. Good, good. Okay, back to here. So they are damaging me quite a bit. So I guess I should take a little bit of caution since there's just so many of them. Alright, I'm back and I'm trying a new tactic here by putting it in the spawner that's by the Siren's lure, but you can see that it's not actually luring in the elementals. But it looks like they are getting eaten by the Well of Suffering. And so if I check, well, I still have the 8 demon blood shards here that I got when I manually killed them. So I don't know if there's actually a solution other than me just hitting them with the sword. So I can just go through and actually, did they just take 10 hearts of... I think he just dealt 10 hearts of damage to me. Alright, that's not good. Alright, so these guys are a little bit more powerful and they're cutting right through my armor. Not a good sign. Alright, but they are... Okay. I'm gonna have to just collect the... let's throw the ring of magnetization on and have it come up through this hole here. Okay. So... Okay, cool. So it looks like they are being dissolved by the Well of Suffering, but not exactly the massive source of items that I was hoping for. Alright, so yep, so I only have a total of 10 demon blood shards. So I'm going to have to just kind of grind these guys down manually, I think, before I can work my way up to... no, let's add that. Before I can work my way up to the next level of... oh, that's very strange. Yeah, that was pretty weird. I lost the ability to actually place blocks. So what I was saying is that I'm just going to have to manually work my way through, probably spawn Okay. Spawning a couple here. Yeah, that's super weird. Okay. So, alright, so I guess what's gonna happen here is I'm just gonna let the Well of Suffering grind these guys down. Then swoop in afterwards and clean up all the demon blood shards. Hopefully... Oh, shoot. They're all getting thrown through the walls. Okay. So, I'm just going to have to go through and clean these guys up and see if I can find another way to get demon blood shards. So, if you could, please leave a comment or a like. Let me know how I'm doing, and hopefully by next episode I'll have a couple more demon blood shards to work on the next tier. So with that, I'll see you next time on Agrarian Skies 2. Bye!